really several um, friendly bacteria in the
Mhm.
vaginal area that serves a woman well. And
Mhm.
is there a way to propagate those bacteria, the good bacteria?
Definitely. So a probiotic like Jarrow for women, which is patented, it contains four patented lactobacillus strains, which are all the strains I just mentioned. And this particular probiotic is actually patented in the U.S. and in Europe. And there has been many clinical studies actually done with these four strains dating back to 1991 all the way through 2016, and then the latest study in 2019 with preterm labor. So one of the things that I would hope that women would understand, like any other probiotic, is to acidify an environment. So whether we're taking it for GI, whether we're taking it for oral health, when we acidify the vagina without obviously acidifying it too much, or any other environment for that matter, we are creating an environment in which healthy bacteria can proliferate and harmful bacteria will become less and less. So when a woman's vaginal milieu, her pH is set between 3.8 and 4.4, then she has a, a healthy vaginal pH. It's when the vaginal environment becomes not acidic enough, um, and let's say a woman is taking antibiotics, or again, the number of sexual partners, or she's douching. All of those things will disrupt and create a dysbiosis. And so we want to be able to maintain vaginal milieu regardless of what's going on, whether it's hormonal fluctuations, sexual partners, douching, antibiotic use. And that's what something like Jarrow woman helps support, is maintaining vaginal milieu.
877 897 8255. 877, pardon me, 897-8255. Dominique Ostrander is our guest today. And this is a very important topic. Uh, you know, this is a health talk show after all. And we have to explore all of the issues. I mean, this is a sensitive issue. And Dominique is just a very credible source to talk about it and present such a theme onto the platform of the show. Um, I appreciate her doing it because we try to cover the gambit, you know, from A to Zinc, so to speak. We talked about zinc earlier, and this topic um, does get our attention. And I find it somewhat ironic that this particular condition is as prevalent as it is right now when we're talking about social distancing, physical distancing. And one of the main ways that this condition comes about is through multiple partners. So you have to be very careful in what you're doing.
And you would think that the numbers would have gone down in the last 4 months. Since at least the end of February, you would think 4 or 5 months. We have March, April, May, June, July. You would think that the numbers for BV cases would have decreased because you would think
Yeah.
people are not sexually active with multiple partners.
Yeah, sometimes human nature is the thing that we are deprived of the most is the thing that we go after the most. Be right back.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol, or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation, and it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD Oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD Oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
Like
This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
It is truly astonishing our relationship with microorganisms, both good and bad. Of course, we're caught up in a pandemic, a COVID 19 pandemic, dealing with a virus, a microorganism. And in our inside our body and on our body, we have microorganisms, and our relationship with them can be, uh, uh, to say the least, interesting and complex. I could do a week's worth of shows just on that theme. And Dominic Ostrander is our guest today, talking about a very serious condition that afflicts women called bacterial vaginosis. It is a persistent, consistent, and reportedly the most common vaginal disorder uh, in women of reproductive age. And I was looking at this one article, and I'm quoting from them just to give you a sense of how this gets a little complicated. Quote, the normal vaginal microflora consists of lactobacilli, especially Lactobacilli crispatus, while the disturbed vaginal microflora is characterized by the overgrowth of Gardnerella vaginalis and other anaerobic bacteria such as Mobiluncus, Mycoplasma hominis, and Provotella. I'm familiar with Provotella. It's come up in my course. We took a look at Provotella, close quote. But you get you get a sense now of you got these different strains of bacteria, some of a pathogenic nature, others of a non-pathogenic nature. And the non-pathogenic bacteria there to keep things in balance, as Dominique pointed out, when we have an imbalance between the good and the bad of bacteria, we call that dysbiosis. Dominique, welcome back. I hope I didn't say anything that violates your understanding of things. You're more versed on this topic
No.
than I am.
Yeah, no, not at all. And that's right. So crispatus is we call, the champion strain, so to speak. Oh, crispatus. I mean, although gasseri is too, but it's crispatus, Jensenii, gasseri, and the rhodori. So those are all the most predominant strains. And
Mhm.
again, you want to choose a probiotic that has lactobacillus strains and the correct lactobacillus strains. When it's so frustrating being out there and seeing what products are in this, this deceit really in the products that the cranberry doesn't make it a woman's vaginal probiotic. And it's just so disappointing when I see so many companies out there with bifida strains in a woman's urovaginal probiotic along with cranberry. It's ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah, they're what they're doing is exploiting, some marketing theme. People have been sort of educated to believe certain things, and just because it's being said doesn't make it true. But people will, latch onto these things, and because they're looking for solutions. And cranberry juice sounds like, oh boy, that's easy. I can do that. That'll take care of it. And hence you get these,
Mhm.
these unethical, really unprincipled ways of doing business and making supplements and making claims that are just totally uh, false. So the product that we're talking about, and which is totally true, is Jarrow for women. Do you take that with food? Does it make any difference any time of the day, dosage, and so on?
You can take it with or without food, and depending upon if your symptoms are acute, if you're dealing with bacterial vaginosis, I would recommend that you take more than one a day, that you're taking at least one in the morning and one at night. And for prophylactic use, as far as maintaining vaginal milieu, you can take one a day. Jarrow for women comes in a shelf-stable 5 billion and a refrigerated 10 billion. I personally take our 10 billion every single day, and my daughter, my oldest daughter, takes a 5 billion every single day. So, in fact, I was just talking to some women yesterday, and it just basically depends on what your needs are. But I would say if you're dealing with an acute situation, I would probably take one in the morning and one at night, whether it's the shelf stable or the refrigerated.
877-897-8255. The lines are always available to you. You can always call, send a message on Facebook, or send me an email. The show is listener friendly. It is education inclined, and we're always seeking better answers to and better methods and things that work really to these conditions. So, does the Jarrow for women, and I'm looking here, Lactobacillus crispatus, Lactobacillus jensenii, and Lactobacillus, what is it? Iners, INERS?
Gas, right. What is
What's the
it?
last one? This one, it says
We have
Lactobacillus
Gasterai.
INERS. I've never seen that before.
Well, the 4 strains are Crispatus, Jensenii, Gasterai, and Rhamnosus. So I'm
Uh-huh.
not sure.
Gasterai and Gasterai and rhamnosus. Let me write that down. Gasterai and rhamnosus. Good deal. So the literature. There's always there's so much out there, and as I say, you know more about this topic than I do. Um, when you do a show like this, you sort of have to have a Renaissance approach. The arts and the sciences. You have to know a lot about a lot of things, and but you can't know everything. So that's why I depend on guests such as you to help educate the audience as well as myself on some of these topics. There's no, I tell people there is no shame in not knowing everything, right? You got doctors that specialize in one thing. You could ask them something about vitamin C, and they wouldn't be able to tell you. And they just,
For
I mean,
sure.
that's just the way it is. So I appreciate you uh, educating the audience as well as myself about these topics. Um, I, women's biology, there are differences between men and women, and biologically speaking, there are some differences that are really profound. This is one of them uh, um,
Mhm.
that I think is merits the attention that you're giving it.
One of the questions that I get all the time is, can I take this while I'm pregnant? And the answer is an emphatic yes. It is safe. In fact, we have studies where women have taken these strains during pregnancy, and that the authors of the studies actually discuss the positive implications of the changes in these women's urovaginal health while they were taking it during pregnancy. And one of the implications is that it changes, well, I shouldn't say it changes. The changes in their vaginal tract help promote
Okay,
health.
we'll pick that up when we come back. LTN Coast to Coast and globally.
Wayne Elliott here to tell you about my experience with Strauss Heart Drops over the past 20 years. The Strauss Heart Drops saved me back then and changed my life forever. It's hard to describe how invigorating it is when you increase your blood flow everywhere. The Heart Drops have proven to dissolve plaque from arteries, veins, and vessels caused from cholesterol that can restrict or block our blood flow, our body's most important function. I was able to avoid open heart surgery, as was my father, and instead cleared our arteries painlessly and without chemical drugs, which, by the way, do not claim to remove any plaque or increase blood flow otherwise. Strauss Heart Drops work, I can assure you. No contraindications with pharma drugs. Strauss Heart Drops are safe, and Strauss guarantees your satisfaction with a money-back guarantee. So you can't go wrong and certainly have nothing to lose. If you've had open heart surgery, angina, diabetes, low energy, cold hands and feet, or grayish-blue skin or lips, Strauss Heart Drops are for you. Available online at powermall.com and straussnaturals.com. I promise you won't be sorry.
The ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, they have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural psyllium fiber and no harmful stimulant laxatives, all Yerba Prima fiber and internal cleansing products can be used over a long period of time to ensure optimal health and regularity. With nearly 30 years dedicated to all-natural cleansing products, it's easy to see why Yerba Prima is a leader in the fiber and cleansing products category. Learn more at yerbaprima.com, YERBAPRIMA.com, or visit your local health retailer. Yerba Prima, pioneer in internal cleansing products.
Did you get enough calcium today? 85% of women over the age of 20 and 50% of men over the age of 30 consume less than the recommended daily intake of calcium. One of the best ways to protect your bones and joints, Bone Up provides Australian hydroxyapatite, the very same form of calcium found in the human body. However, strong bones and joints require more than calcium. Magnesium, zinc, manganese, copper, silicon, vitamin C, vitamin D3, vitamin K, and boron are all beneficial to optimum joint function. Bone Up gives you all of these. Bone Up is the most healthful nutritional regimen for bones and joints. Ask for Bone Up at your local health food store. Or, for more information, go to www.jarrow.com for the best in calcium formulas.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at Let's.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Celsius, live fit. Irwin Naturals, premium vitamins and supplements. 25 years of gold standard supplements. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
And thank you for tuning in today. Here's the health question, LTN health question of the day. And we've given the answer several times. And simply this. In Jarrow for women, that particular product, which is terrific, by the way, how many strains of beneficial lactobacillus strains are there in the product? How many are there? Beneficial lactobacillus strains in Jarrow for women. 2, 3, or 4? How many strains of beneficial lactobacillus bacteria are in Jarrow women. Here's Katie to tell you how to get the phone number to get to the prize.
Yes, give us a call 877-897-8255. That's 877-897 talk.
So, Katie, as you're sitting there listening to this as a woman, what do you make of this conversation today? I'm just curious. You know, um, always interested in your point of view as a woman.
It's informative. I feel like I'm learning about my own body and things I can do to my body that I didn't even know. And you think like as a woman that you know everything there is to know about your body and your health, the way your body operates, but uh,
Yeah, you're a young woman. And what did you make of this condition that we've been talking about? How do you react to that when you hear Dominique report on what's going on with you know this particular? It's not an STD, bacterial vaginosis. What do you make of that as a young woman?
I don't want to say it's scary because you should know your health and be able to protect yourself, but it's just I don't I don't know the right word for it. I guess informative. Like it's eye-opening. That's the good way to put it. Eye-opening.
Yeah, which sort of caught my attention and it's surprising to me, as Dominique point reported, that you would think that bacterial vaginosis would be the prevalence would be on a linear decline, but during this COVID-19 pandemic and the an epidemic in the United States, it 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 hasn't abated at all, maybe increased. I mean, that's crazy. We're telling people the physical distance, and here we have certain women doing with having intimacy with multiple partners and getting themselves into trouble. My goodness, Dominique, welcome back. This topic is important, and you handle it so well and present it in such a way that is rhetorically fitting and rhetorically sensitive, and I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm glad we were able to shed some light on it because, again, it's a very embarrassing situation for a lot of women, and they don't want to talk about it. And again, one of the big questions I get is, well, how do I know it's BV and not a yeast infection? And so typically, BV has a very foul, sort of fishy smell, where yeast infections don't necessarily have an odor. Yeast
Hmm.
infections also, most of the time, have a terrible itchiness where BV doesn't. It could potentially, but not typically. Um, those are probably the biggest differences between them. Also, BV tends to have a more of a, and again, this is not always the case, but it's what's more often than not, that BV has more of a grayish type of discharge where a yeast infection doesn't.
Mhm. 877-897-8255. I'll make it easy for you. You can guess 50-50 chance of getting it right. How many strains of lactobacillus bacteria, good ones, are in Gyrodopilus for women? Two or four? Okay. 877-897-8255. Speed dial me. You can win this $25 supplement gift card. It's easy. Um, so that topic aside for a moment, um, are you doing well? How are you doing? Are you out in the field working?
You know, it's been, I will tell you, we've had a lot less travel, obviously, a lot less. I think we're actually starting to book some travel now to different parts of our territory more so. There's been a few trips in there to see some, for me, hospital pharmacy directors that I've needed to see for hospitals that have been, relatively in the distance of our territory. But it's been different. It really has. It's been even calling on my gynecologist and things like that for our Jarrow for women, different protocols, more or less not really talking to anybody, but, just being able to give them additional samples as requested. And
Sure.
but the contact has been quite limited. It's been interesting.
Yeah, I try to find humor in all this. I said, the first 3 months of this pandemic, I felt like I was in the witness protection program. The past three
Right.
months, I
Mhm.
feel I, I feel like I'm under house arrest. Just
Mhm.
evolved into that.
Mhm.
It's terrible. So I hope I get to see you. You're so close. You're only 4 or 5 doors down from me. I walk by your house every night on my power walk, and I yell out your name, but you never
Mhm.
hear me.
Oh.
Such a creepy
I'm
thing to
surprised I
say to
don't see you
someone.
because my treadmill. I have my treadmill at the, in the bay windows. I'm surprised I don't see you.
Yeah, my rowing machine is in front of my bay window. I just got a new concept too, and my rowing machine is right by in front of my bay window. So yeah, if you hear somebody yelling, Dominique, that's me power
Right.
walking with my weight. Katie thinks that's
Okay.
creepy.
I just would be a little alarmed if someone said to me, "Hey, I walk by your house every night and you scream your name."
Well, I'm walking by in the daytime,
I know.
and
Oh, okay, then
I
fine. It's totally
yeah.
normal.
So I ran into your husband with his pals the other day, and I had my walk, and I
Oh,
had
uh-huh.
my weights in my hand, and each weight weighs 11.2 pounds. And one guy said,
Mm.
"Man, you carrying those weights?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "How far did you go?" I said, "I went 4 miles." Oh, he said, "Oh yeah." So tell Douglas I said hello. Thank you so much for educating the audience today and myself on this very important topic. And Jarrow for women, as always, Jarrow is the best of the best. Jarrow for women, take it because you know why. Your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you. I'll see you tomorrow.